You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion. Delivered by conflicting media reports, we connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. A very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we're celebrating today. We do that on every day on Ron Siegel Radio. What are we celebrating today? It's all beef day. Well, maybe not all beef day. Today's National Beef Burger Day. And ironically enough, they put that in there at the exact same time as National Hamburger Day. So we're chatting, and I was on a call early this morning. We're chatting about this, and we're contemplating, wonder what they mean by beef burger or hamburger. I guess one of them's just got a few more fillers than the other. I'm just throwing that out there for you. Maybe it's like a beef burger and a McDonald's burger, because McDonald's burger, maybe they're not beef at McDonald's. I don't know. Where else are you going to go? I know at my house, if we make burgers, they're beef. Well, I guess when you get the ground meat, it says, 95% or 98% beef or whatever. So I guess there's still some fillers in there. Or else we've also got, today is Brisket Day. So we got a big question for you today. Do you like brisket or burgers? And if burger is your choice, what do you like on the burger? Put it in the chat for us. Help us out. Put that in there. Brisket or burgers? And if you like burgers, what do you like on it? Now, I like brisket as long as it comes from Hickory and Spice. I've not been a big brisket fan until I started getting brisket over at Hickory and Spice. If you haven't been there in the city of Orange, no, I don't get paid from them. I don't get free burgers. They don't make burgers. I don't even get free brisket. But Hickory and Spice, they make the best brisket. And yes, he is a champion pitmaster. Now the burgers, you look at the picture of the burgers. Josh, do you have a picture of the burger there? They got all this stuff on there. And look at all that stuff on that burger. I see tomatoes and I see cheese. That's good. Lettuce. If I wanted a salad, I'd get a salad. I never want a salad. So get rid of the lettuce. Get rid of the tomato. Get rid of the onion. Now, I will say, a little ketchup, some guacamole. Put some guacamole on there. I've beaten anorexia, so I know these things. If you want the onions, grilled onions is the only way for me. I do like also, a little bacon on there. Bacon and guacamole. What do you think about that one, Josh? Bacon, guac. That's a good burger. Okay. I better stop on doing the food show because I might get in trouble with Elmer Dills. Josh, do you even know Elmer Dills? Okay. Okay, I'm showing my age again. That was a food critic many years ago. I don't even know how long ago Elmer Dills was on TV. It's a long time ago. Elmer Dills, if you're as old as me, you probably remember Elmer Dills. He was before, all these other food critics that came out. He was actually probably before Al Gore even invented the internet. So we're going back a day or two. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. Let's see. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 169 points. S&P 500 is up 329. 3.29, 3.26. NASDAQ up 86 points. Oil up another $2 a barrel. Do we want to look at what that means to you and to me? Gasoline, $5.11 a gallon here in California. And yes, it is still only $3.03 a gallon in Mississippi. $5.11 versus $3.03. And I have to go get gas after the broadcast today, so I'll find out exactly what we're paying for it right here in the formerly Golden State. $3.59 is the cost of a gallon of gasoline on average in California. $3.59 is the national, not California. Yeah, we know better than that. California, $5.11. I don't even want to know what it was 3.5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, when we had a different president. I know this president doesn't do well. He tells us everything is a fault of the prior administration. But, you start wondering sometimes, just because you look at it and you say, okay, gas prices were way less. The cost of food was way less. The cost of eggs, way less. Everything was way less. The illegal immigration, that was way less. So all these things. But something? We don't hear any of that from the current administration. But I did hear they got their they had that. What's the lunatic? My opinion, Robert De Niro. He decided he was going to join in a press conference in front of the courthouse where President Trump is being held hostage right now. So think about that one. But apparently, him and a few other Democrats decided they were going to go out there and do a press conference. They didn't get the reception that they were hoping for in New York, which is pretty surprising when you start seeing that New York turning on the Democrats. Big blue state, and they're getting booed and heckled in New York. So it's going to be interesting to watch what goes on with that one. We did see last week that the president went and did a press conference or a rally out there in one of the boroughs, met with some pretty good stuff other than the governor who didn't show up, doesn't surprise me, and referred to many of us, like half of America, as a bunch of clowns. So Kathy Hochul, that's the governor of New York. It'll be interesting to see what happens in New York when it comes to election time. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there because I can. I say that the president's going to have to win. President Trump, former President Trump, will have to win by at least 5 to 6 points just to cover the cheating that's going to go on. Yes, I said it, the cheating. I believe that there is a lot of cheating going on. There's a lot of ballot harvesting and all this other garbage, but we'll see. But hopefully, if we get President Trump back in office, maybe we'll get some of this inflation numbers to go down, gas prices to go down, border to be closed. Maybe some of this unrest all over the world might minimize. We've seen what 4 years of Trump does. We've seen what 4 years of Biden does. You make the choice. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, what's happening in the mortgage world? What's happening in the world of your liabilities? Can you change the way your financial structure is to make money? How do climate risks affect your next home? And understanding common types of debt and how to avoid growing debt. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, at 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. What did rates lock at on Friday? Okay, we've got and again, that's the latest data that is available. Conventional loans, 30-year down 6.971. Jumbo loans, 30-year down 7.149. FHA loans down 30-year 6.726. USDA loans, those were down 6.742. That's the rural areas, generally no down payment. And the best loan on the market, that would be the 30-year VA loan, 6.575. That was up on Friday. We don't like seeing those go up on the VA loan, but it was just 2 basis points, not a whole lot. If you want our thoughts on the market every morning as early as the data allows, rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. We put out that data as early as we can. Let's take a look and see what's going on in the markets today as we're speaking. The S&P 500 is up 4.14. The 10-year Treasury up 4 basis points, 4.50. And the mortgage-backed securities, those are flat this morning so far. What's driving all of this? And what do you really need to know about in these areas this morning in order to make good decisions. If you were out shopping for a house this past weekend, maybe you got into contract on a house, what do you need to know? Well, we got the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Home price gains continue. Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which is the gold standard for appreciation, showed that home prices rose 0.3% in March, rising to another all-time high. The 0.3% gain is a seasonally adjusted number, which takes into account the typically stronger appreciation seen during this time of year. The non-seasonally adjusted figure rose 1.3% in the month alone. Prices are now up 6.5% year over year, unchanged from the previous report. This was another strong report showing that buying a home still proves to be one of the best investments. FHFA Home Price Index released their house price index, which measures home price appreciation on single-family homes with a conforming loan amount. Different than Case-Shiller, it does not include cash buyers or jumbo loans. The FHFA reported that home prices rose 0.1% in March and are up 6.7% year over year, down from 7% in the previous report. Earlier this morning, Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari said many more months of positive inflation data to give him confidence it's appropriate to dial back rates. Kashkari. Unbelievable. You know, and I thought he would have been a good choice for a governor in the state of California. But after listening to what he's been talking about and his accuracy as the president of the Minneapolis Federal Reserve, thankfully, he's not a voting member right now. But after listening to what he's been saying and how wrong he's been consistently, I'm wondering if he gets schooled from Diana Olick. They both have been wrong so much. But thankfully, he's not a voting member right now. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make that call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And I've been chatting about a lot of different times with you about borrowing smart. And there are a lot of things. We're going to get into this borrowing smart concept a lot. And I might even do a workshop on it right here on Ron Siegel Radio in the next few days. But I want to get some foundation for you before we do the full workshop. And the concept has to do with strategies. And you've heard me say many, many times, strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. And what does that mean? How do you understand that, what that's all about? Well, I had a conversation this weekend with somebody, and we're looking at a strategy. And yes, I am a proponent, if you qualify, and not everybody does, of the Home Select loan from Geneva Financial. Why? Because I am a liability advisor. And we look at liability advising, and we say, you know something? Maybe that's the solution to getting people to the goals that they have. And many people don't even know what their goals are. They call, and I have no problem with this, but I understand the issue. The biggest question as leading a lending team we get from people is, what's the interest rate? And I don't say this, but the real answer is, why do you care? The question becomes, what's important? Why is the interest rate so important? So I did a scenario for somebody this weekend, and I'm trying to find the exact data here so I can share it with you. But they've got a great mortgage rate. They're sitting on a 2.625 interest rate. 2.625. Now, the Home Select loan at Geneva Financial, I think it starts somewhere around 9%. And if you use the history, it's an adjustable rate loan. If you use the historical numbers, I think it averages somewhere in the range of 6%, give or take. So you might say, well, Ron, why would you want to use a loan that's that high of an interest rate? And why would you think it's better? Well, the answer to that question is the current loan that this person has is going to last as another 25.8 years of payments. It's almost 26 years remaining on it. By using the right strategy on the Home Select, They're going to be paid off in 11 years. Now, what do you do for the next 14 years of not making those mortgage payments? Well, what if you invest that money? Because over the course of those 11 years that's going to get paid off, here's the other beauty of it. Even with a 9% interest rate, the average minimum monthly payment is about $675 less. $675 less. Now, I don't guarantee that you're going to get the same results. I'm just sharing with you what these numbers are. Now, when you look at this, now the Home Select loan yields an effective APR of 2.529, a little bit less than the existing 2.625. But when you pay off that much faster, what are you going to do with that money? Well, you get the opportunity, if you want to take some of that money or take all of that money and invest it. What if you get a very, very small, now most of the financial advisors that we talk to on Ron Siegel Radio, they can put you into a life insurance policy, specific types, that'll get you a 7 or 8% historic return. No guarantees going forward, but 7 or 8% historic. I used a 5% for this analysis. Well, the investment account after the 11 years of payoff, $653,000. So what happens after you pay that loan off? Well, you start investing the same amount of money and you start saying, okay, well, $653,000, that's creating a lot of net worth. Now, you say, well, Ron, you're at a 9% interest rate versus a 2.625. Yeah, you're right. I did say that. But do I care? The answer is no, I don't care. Why? Because I care about dollars. You cannot retire on an interest rate. They don't let you. Go to Vaughn's, go to Bristol Farms, go wherever you do your shopping. Go to Stater Brothers. I don't care. Tell them you've got a 2.625 interest rate or a $100 bill. What do you think they're going to take? They're going to take that $100 bill. That's what's going to get you your groceries. They don't care about what the interest rate is. Why should you? I understand why. Because most people don't know any different. They've been brought up to believe I need a 30-year fixed rate loan at the best price possible. Okay, 30-year fixed rate loan at the best price possible would be that 2.625 that's got 25.8 years remaining on it. Does it still sound like that's the best strategy for this particular individual? Again, I submit no, because $653,000 in net worth seems to me like it's a little bit better. The property is going to still appreciate regardless of what you owe on the property. It's going to still appreciate the same. And oh, by the way, most of us who follow the markets, contrary to what we hear in the media, we realize that the economy is slowing down. We see more and more companies closing, more and more companies going, laying people off, and more companies are projecting tougher times down the road. Well, the more money that you put into your mortgage, the stronger the position is of the bank. It does not help you one bit. Think about this. During the Great Recession, if you had a $100,000 house with a $975,000 loan, do you think the bank would foreclose on that? Why would they? They can't even get their money back, so there's no sense in them foreclosing. If you have a $1 million house and you've got a $250,000 mortgage, well, they can sell that all day long and get way more than their money back. They might even give you a little bit, but they can get all of the money back that you owe them, plus the costs and everything that they can figure out how to charge and legal fees and everything else. They can get all of that recouped pretty quick. So which house has more risk? The house with more equity has more risk. Now, the Home Select, on the next step of that, it gives you liquidity. If you want to access the equity in your home, you lose your job, you get hurt, you get ill, you have to go in for an emergency surgery, can't work for a period of time. if you've got equity available or capacity on your home select available, you don't have to worry about making a mortgage payment. No, not a problem. You can even pull money out to go to the grocery store because you've got full control. Strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, how do climate risks affect your next home? Understanding common types of debt and how to avoid growing debt. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com. Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. How do climate risks affect your next home? Climate change is impacting where people buy homes, as the experts at the National Association of Realtors, NAR, explains, quote, 63% of people who have moved since the pandemic began say they believe climate change is or will be an issue in the place they currently live, unquote. If you're planning to move, climate change is something you might want to consider no matter where you are. A recent study from Realtor.com helps put the growing impact climate change is having on real estate into perspective. Climate risks impact nearly half of all homes in the U.S. Okay, the percentage of homes in the U.S. that are at risk of severe or extreme damage from environmental threats. So how can you be sure your investment is safe from the elements? For starters, work with a local real estate agent to understand the likelihood of your future home being exposed to hazards like wind, floods, and wildfires. Your agent will know the area and be able to tell you about the risks you'll most likely face. Beyond that, there are two important factors to think about: the quality of the home you want to buy and the insurance you'll need to protect it. A home built to last. If you're planning to be in your home for many years, you want to know it's going to last. One way to think ahead is to work with your real estate agent to ensure the home you buy can withstand environmental hazards. They're up to date on the most common building and remodeling techniques, like a secondary water barrier on the roof or non-combustible fire-resistant exterior walls used to protect homes from the elements of climate change. And if the home you're interested in does not have the features you're looking for, they can help you determine what you may be able to negotiate in the contract or what work it might require in the future. Insurance to protect it. Once you're confident the home you're looking at is well built, the next step is finding out what it's going to take to insure it. As Selma Hepp, chief economist at CoreLogic, says, quote, homeowners are going to become increasingly more aware of risks of living in some areas as it becomes prohibitively expensive or very difficult to obtain hazard insurance, unquote. Welcome to California. In areas where climate risks are having a bigger impact, the right home insurance can make a big difference. And the price of that insurance is an important factor when thinking about your budget and the true cost of buying and protecting your home. Get an insurance quote early in the process because you may want to compare multiple quotes, and it can take several weeks to get them. While this may feel like a lot to consider, don't worry. An agent can help. Your real estate agent will be your go-to resource on the home buying process, what to look for and consider, and how climate change may affect your next home. With the right planning and an agent's expert advice, you can make this happen. Home ownership is worth it. And with a great agent by your side, you can make sure the home you find is the right fit. Bottom line, climate change is an important factor to think about when buying a home. After all, your home is a huge investment, and you want to be ready for anything that might affect it. Let's chat so you can find that perfect home for you and your family. And if you've been that's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Just remembering now, I talk about climate change, and I'm not a big believer in mortals' ability to affect climate. I recognize that and there's a lot of people that are in the same boat. They look at it and say, you know something? More taxes. Our government's answer to everything is tax more, spend more. $37 trillion worth of spending that I really don't have to worry about. Call a spade a spade. I'm not going to be here to pay it back. My kids, Josh, my grandkids, Josh's kids, they get to pay all those bills. So what's happening is old people like me are spending all this money to let other people pay it back. Does that sound logical to you? I mean, I look at what the fights that are going on now between states on some of the things that California is doing and some of the other states suing California because they're saying, something, your policies that are driving your state into bankruptcy, homelessness, and everything else are hurting other states, and they don't like it. So it's going to be a case that's going to go to the Supreme Court not too far away. Supreme Court has original jurisdiction in arguments between states. So that's going to be coming up in the Supreme Court again, as I mentioned. But here's the issue that we have to think about is the policies that are going on. Some of the issues are causing some of these climate problems. The policies are environmental policies where we're not doing controlled burns anymore because it might hurt the environment. And I don't disagree that it might hurt the environment, but I know for certain wildfires are going to have more of a harm on the environment than the controlled burns. But the controlled burns actually bring and minimize those wildfires. If we had more of the controlled burns to get rid of some of that underbrush, well, we might not have the same problems that we have with getting insurance, especially in the state of California, where a lot of companies are leaving. Now, why is State Farm leaving? 2 issues. Number one, the appreciation of real estate has brought their exposure significantly higher. They don't want to maintain that high exposure in the state. So they need to bring that down. Now, the government goes, well, we're going to let you do certain things, or we're going to cap how much you can charge. Well, if it's not keeping pace with the appreciation of real estate, not keeping pace with inflation, the companies are going to say, you know something? We can't afford to go and pay for all the wood that it's going to take to build up this new community back. Single houses might be an issue that they can handle, but when they get the big fires like they had up in Northern California that burn complete cities, or like they had in Hawaii or some of these other places, that's the exposure that insurance companies are fearful of. They can't handle it because it's just too much for them. So when you're thinking about your own cost, your own pocketbook, think beyond just the headlines. Think beyond there where they say, well, climate change is going to affect all of us. Well, yes, it is. But sometimes the policies will cause us more financial harm than the climate change itself. I throw that out there for your consideration. Your Credit Matter is brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. How to build credit as an authorized user. Yes, you can build credit by being an authorized user, but you can also hurt your credit if you or the primary account owner manage the account poorly. How being an authorized user can build your credit. Being an authorized user means you're given permission to use someone else's credit card. When the primary account holder makes timely payments, it keeps their balances low. It can help boost your credit scores too. It's like getting a piggyback ride on someone else's good credit habits. You can build credit without doing anything at all. How fast can you build credit as an authorized user? It depends. Some credit bureaus might start including this information in your credit report right away, while others might take a few months. But regardless, building credit always takes time. Very rarely, especially if you're just starting to build credit or you're recovering from bad credit, will your credit score suddenly jump 100 points overnight. Remember, your credit score is like a snapshot of your credit history. The longer you have positive credit habits, like making on-time payments, keeping balances low, the better your credit score will be. Want to see how to make the payments the right way? rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. How being adding an authorized user can hurt your credit? If the authorized user or primary account holder don't manage the shared account well, if you miss payments or carry high balances, for example, it can drag both of your credit scores down. So whether you're adding an authorized user or becoming an authorized user, make sure it's someone you trust. When it comes to shared credit accounts, communication is key. Make sure you're both on the same page about how the credit card will be used and who is responsible for making payments. Setting spending limits and discussing financial goals can help prevent any negative impact on your credit scores. Who can be an authorized user? Almost anyone can be an authorized user. Your credit card issuer will have their own guidelines around who can be added or the process of adding them to your account, so make sure to check with them. How old do you need to be an authorized user? There's no set age, but some credit card companies might require you to be at least 18 years old. Always check with the issuer to be sure. If you're under 18, you might still be able to build credit through other means, such as student credit card or a secured credit card with a cosigner. Can you set spending limits for an authorized user? Yes. Some credit card companies allow the primary account holder to set spending limits for authorized users. It can be a helpful way to keep everyone's spending in check. Setting spending limits can also provide peace of mind, knowing that the authorized user won't be able to rack up charges beyond a certain amount. Does an authorized user need to pay credit card bills? Not typical for the authorized user to be obligated to pay the credit card bill, that responsibility usually falls on the primary account holder. However, like we said before, if the primary account holder does not pay the bill on the account, it can hurt the authorized user as well. As an authorized user, it's important to use the credit card responsibly and communicate with the primary account holder about any charges you make. Payment history is one of the biggest factors in how your credit score is calculated, so make sure you do whatever you can to protect it. Other ways to build credit if you can't be an authorized user. If becoming an authorized user is not an option for you, don't worry. There are other ways to start building credit. Secured credit cards. These cards require a cash deposit that acts as your credit limit. They're a great way to establish credit if you're just starting out. Student credit card. Designed for students, these cards often come with lower credit limits and fewer fees, making them a good option for building credit responsibly. Credit Builder Loan. This type of loan is specifically designed to help people build credit. You borrow a small amount, which is held in a savings account, until you've paid off the loan. Check your credit for errors. Sometimes mistakes happen. Regularly check your credit report for errors or inaccuracies that could be dragging your score down. Cleanall3.com. Cleanall3.com is a great source for that. Building credit might seem intimidating, but with patience, responsibility, and a bit of know-how, you can set yourself up for a strong financial future. Remember, it's not just about having a high credit score. It's about building healthy financial habits that will serve you well for years to come. That is Your Credit Matters, brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com. rsrdebtfree.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, understanding types of debt and how to avoid growing debt, how to pay lower interest on a loan, and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. Let's see what we've got for us today. How to pay lower interest on a loan. Loans can help us achieve big goals like buying a car or going to college, but did you know that the interest rate on your loan can affect how much money you pay back? A lower interest rate means you pay less money over time in some instances. So how can you get a lower rate? Here's some simple tips to help you save money. Number one, check your credit score and credit reports, cleanall3.com. We know this is obvious, but it needs to be said. Make sure that you are more familiar with your credit than any potential lender could be. This means checking your credit score and your credit reports, all three, because your lender will be looking at more than just your score. You may feel like you have a decent credit score and then be surprised by what rate your lender quotes you because there are too many negative items in your credit report. If you've never downloaded copies of your credit reports before, you can do so for free at the only official website, annualcreditreport.com. They will not give you scores, they give you your report. If you want more broken out view of your credit and explanations for what everything means, give me a call, 800-306-1990. But go to cleanall3.com to see what your scores are so you know what's meaningful there. Number two, and again, those are FICO scores, mortgage FICO scores. We're not interested in non-mortgage FICO scores or credit scores. Those don't matter. Number two, really spend time shopping around. Don't settle for the first loan offer you get. Don't settle for the second. The difference of 0.5% can mean thousands of dollars, so really take your time and do your research. Again, strategy beats rate always. Check the rates offered by your own bank, credit unions, digital lenders, mortgage brokers, anyone, to see who has the best strategy for you. Just remember to compare not only the interest rate, but also fees and charges that may be included. Number three, consider a cosigner. If you're having trouble getting approved for a loan or getting a low interest rate on your own, consider asking someone with good credit to co-sign the loan with you. Having a co-signer with a strong credit history can help you qualify for a lower interest rate. Number four, save up for a big down payment. Putting more money down up front can help you secure a lower interest rate on your loan. It shows lenders that you're serious about paying back the money you borrow. Plus, a larger down payment means you have a smaller loan amount, which can also lead to lower monthly payments and less interest paid over time. Strategically, though, there's price breaks, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50% down payments are where the price breaks are. So if you have 22% to put down 20 and ask the lender what 2% in points will do for you over the long run. Again, strategy beats rate always. Number five, choose a shorter loan term. The length of your loan term can affect your interest rate. Generally, shorter loan terms come with lower interest rates because the lender takes on less risk. While a shorter loan term means higher monthly payments, it also means you'll pay less in interest over the life of the loan. So if you can afford it, choosing a shorter loan term can help you save money in the long run. Saving money in the long run. But is that the best strategy? Maybe not. Maybe the strategy is you want to have the security of having a lower required payment, but you can always make a larger payment if you want to. Number six, improve your debt to income ratio. Lenders also consider your debt to income ratio when deciding your loan rate. This is the amount of money you owe each month compared to the amount of money you make. If you have a high debt to income ratio, lenders might see you as a higher risk and charge a higher interest rate. Paying down debt or increasing your income can help improve your debt to income ratio and might qualify you for a lower rate, or a different loan strategy. Ask about discounts. Some lenders offer discounts on low loan rates for things like setting up auto payments, having a checking account with them. It doesn't hurt to ask if there are any discounts or special offers available when you apply for a loan. Even a small discount can add up to big savings. Use mortgage points. That's a way to lower your interest rate by paying extra money up front to your lender. When you close on your mortgage, each point typically costs 1% of the total amount of the loan. So let's say you're getting a $200,000 mortgage and the lender offers you the option to buy one mortgage point for $2,000. If you buy 1 point, you'd pay an extra $2,000 up front, but your lender might lower your interest rate by maybe 0.25%. If you plan to stay in the house for a long time, strategy, buying mortgage points might be a good idea, strategy, because you could end up saving more money on your monthly payments. But remember, it's not always the right choice for everyone. Think about how long you plan to stay in the house and whether you'll actually save enough money in the long run to make up for the costs. These are just a few tips that you may not be getting when you go online to just fill out the application without talking to somebody who knows what they're doing. That's why I ask, give us a call. We'll give you a second opinion anytime. It doesn't cost a thing. That is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let's see. If I go and try and do a Your Credit Matters, Josh is going to probably throw something at me, and even though he's not in the same city. So let's just give away some stuff, Josh. Maybe we can do some giveaways this morning, but we haven't done this in a while. We've got our home buyer's guide, rsrhbg.com. rsrhbg.com. If you're thinking about buying a house, rsrhbg.com. If you're thinking about selling a house, rsrhsg.com. We've got that one available for you as well. If you're thinking about a specific area, specific neighborhood, yes, our friends over at Altos Research do a lot of information. They monitor every home for sale every week through their research, and you can get a copy of the report for any zip code that you want. rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report is where you can go and get a free copy of their report. And they give you a lot of great information. What's happening in the marketplace in that area? How many homes are for sale, condos and single family? Are they going up? Are they going down? Is there a lot of price reductions? rsrlinks.com/market report. And yes, if you are that person that says, I'm Ron, I'm going to wait for the market to crash. Is it going to crash? I don't know. But we can tell you what the cost is of renting versus waiting. rsrlinks.com/RVO. Robert Victor Ocean. rsrlinks.com/RVO. We put that together. And that's a sample. We can do that for any address in America, or just about. We have historic data for that area as to what the appreciation is. We have current data on what the rents are in that area. We put in there a factor for rent appreciation or rent increases. We put the factor in there for historical and current and forecasted property appreciation. We put all that in there for you. Give you a nice little form there, a little report. And it costs you nothing because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio. rsrlinks.com/RVO. rsrlinks.com/RVO. And for those of you that are still thinking that 3% mortgage is the great thing, even after I shared with you what it's costing one listener to have a 2.625% mortgage. What did I say? It was costing her over $600,000? I think that's what I said. It's over $600,000. Was $653,000 was what it was costing. So why don't you take a look at what this might be costing you? rsr3pctloan.com. rsr3pctloan.com. Go through there and we show you how a 3% loan could be costing you a fortune. And I think we also have it in here if you've got a lot of debts. And again, we talk about this with our friends at rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. But if you got a bunch of debts, we need to have a conversation. We are liability advisors. That would be debt advisors. We show you how to pay off your mortgage quicker and get rid of your debts quicker. All of those are things that we do for you at Ron Siegel Radio. So look at, where is rsr2step.com, rsr2step.com. And finally, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Pay your credit card bills off the right way for FICO scoring purposes. rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.